Hello everyone, I am delighted to bring to you today a message about God's love for you. You may be going through difficulties in life. I want you to know that God loves you. That is the beginning of your freedom. God's love for you is personal. God loves each and every one of us. We are not just a number among millions and billions of others. He desires to have a personal and intimate loving relationship with you. He longs for the time when you simply talk to him, when you think about him, when you ask for his help or guidance, when you ask him to speak to your heart about some issues. He wants you to know that he is concerned about every single aspect of your life. Many ignore him all their lives. They never think about him. They never try to find out what he is like. They never take time to get to know him. They never talk to him. They never ask for his guidance. That has no effect at all on his love for you. He is still waiting for that day when you will begin to accept him and realize that he wants to rain down upon you that awesome, perfect, unconditional love. God's love for us is the answer to everything. I want you to make our time today to study the scripture and know more about the love of God for you. For I tell you, you will know not